Hey, welcome to Musical Mondays. Nice to see you guys joining. Thanks for joining tonight. I'm just waiting for my special guest, Reed Zakos, to join. And that's what we're listening to. We're listening to Reed in the background. So we're just waiting for Reed to join. I know that Reed was traveling home from work on the bus in Vancouver tonight. So, hey Paula, I know you can't hear me, but thanks for joining. Yeah, so I don't know if it's snowing in Vancouver. It was definitely snowing in Victoria this evening. So we'll just give a few minutes for Reed to join us. For those of you who, I hope you can hear the music over my talking. This is Reed's song, Gladiator. So while we're waiting, tell me where you guys are tuning in from tonight. I see that Paula, there's Reed. Hey Reed, we're listening to your music. I'll just wait for you. I will actually send you a request to join. Hang on. Here he comes. Hey.
Hi.
Hey, great to see you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, what a pleasure. Yeah, I'm so excited. I've been excited all weekend waiting for the show.
Oh,
So great. Good to see you. I mean, the
me
last
too.
time I saw you, I know we're virtual tonight, but last time I saw you was I think in June at the Cusick show in Vancouver that we
Oh
both
yeah.
did at.
It
Yeah.
feels like yesterday.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
hmm
That was super fun. Um, we've got people joining, um, but I just wanted to give you a chance to introduce yourself, Reed. You want to say a few words about you, the amazing you?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my name is Reed Zakos. I'm a dance pop artist. Was born in Calgary, but I live in Vancouver now. I have two albums out. Legends and Myths came out in 2020. My newest album is a little bit more dancey. It's called Brighter. And I've been, performing my whole life. I have a dance background, a theater background, and I've been releasing music for 6 years now. So, yeah.
Cool. I mentioned that show that we were both part of in June in Vancouver, and I was blown away by you. You're such an amazing singer and performer and dancer. Like you have the whole
Oh,
package. It's amazing.
thank you so much. I was blown away by you too. You have
Oh,
such a
thank
a
you.
pure, beautiful voice, and
Thank you.
all your remixes really like take your songs to a new level too. All your
Yeah, super fun.
synthwave remixes. I love it.
Super fun to do the remixes.
hmm
Um, so you're originally from Calgary,
hmm
and so you have a background in dance too. Tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about that, because clearly, I mean, seeing you dance was just I don't know. I love watching people dance, and I'm not a dancer by any means, other than to entertain myself. So seeing you dance and perform and sing at the same time was quite something. It
Oh.
was just magical. So tell us a little bit about your dance background and where you learned your moves and your practice.
Well, thank you so much. I guess it started with the Spice Girls and, listening to the Spice Girls and jumping around my living room. But I always like to move and I always like to dance, and music was such a big part of my household because my dad was a piano player
Okay.
and my mom played the trombone. So there was always sort of music around, and I just dance kind of came naturally to me, and I started taking classes at Decidedly Jazz Dance Works when I was about 11. I started with, they had like a summer camp, and I started with break dancing and hip hop and West African styles, and then I did jazz and trained up until I was 23 with Decidedly Jazz, and also danced at a few other studios. I started doing like heels and hip hop. The Snap Boys was like a dance crew that they were all guys doing hip hop in high heels, so I did that for a bit.
Wow.
And I've danced at Harbor Dance here in Vancouver.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, that's sort of the extent of my dance
Oh,
training. Yeah.
cool. Okay. Well, yeah, that's quite extensive. So, what goes into, say, like a performance like I saw you do this past summer was like a 30 to 40-minute performance of your own music with your dance incorporated into it. So, what kind of preparation goes into a performance like that for you?
Well, it depends on the set list and it depends on the songs and if I, want to have something set for
Right.
choreography or if I just want to let the song sort of take me where it wants to.
Okay.
Um, I usually like to have certain things in all my songs that I hit that I know that I'll hit, but I like to leave room for spontaneity too, and just sort of when I need to focus on the vocal, but
Yeah.
allow myself to be free and um, it depends on the energy of the crowd too.
Right.
So yeah.
Amazing. So some of what I would have seen in that show was in the moment, you expressing vocally and through physical dance.
Yeah.
Cool.
hmm
Wow. Wow. That's so neat. I love it. Um, and then the songwriting. So you're singing and you're performing and you're writing your own material too. So what goes into your songwriting process? Are you thinking about movement when you're writing?
Not necessarily. I think I mean, it is a huge sort of maybe a subconscious influence, and whether it's a song that I'll write or not, but not all the time. Not all of them. I'm thinking about dance or movement. Sometimes I'm just thinking about the emotion that I want to get out or the lyrics I want to get out. So it really depends on the song, but I think. I mean, if it's four on the floor and there's a bass groove, then for sure I'm dancing.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
And you mentioned the Spice Girls in terms of kind of inspiring a love of dance. So in terms of musical influences, who would you say your musical influences are?
My biggest ones are probably Gwen Stefani and
Nice.
Lady Gaga, Madonna. Also love No Doubt, Michael Jackson. Yeah, those
Okay,
are
so
kind of the main ones that I always go to.
right.
So, mhm,
Cool. So a lot of dance and groove in all of those artists
for
too.
sure. Yeah.
Nice.
Hmm.
Um, And how do you get yourself ready for a performance? I'm not thinking, not necessarily rehearsal, but yeah, like, do you rehearse, or, the night of a performance or the day of? Are there specific things you'll do to get yourself ready?
Yeah, I rehearse pretty religiously. I love to rehearse all night long. Just even if I just have headphones in and I'm in my living room with a hairbrush, I'm rehearsing.
Love it.
But it depends on the show. It depends on the performance and how many songs I'm doing, if I'm doing originals or covers or a mix of
Okay.
both. It sort of depends on how long the set is. But I think I've gotten to a point with my own music where I kind of have a micro set and then I have like a little bit longer of a set. And then, if there's always room to, add in a new song based on it really just it's based on how I'm feeling the
Mhm.
day of the show.
Okay.
But I try and pick songs that I know are going to work well for either the venue or the occasion. But I also like to, stay true to myself and, my discography and the songs that I enjoy performing the most. So, yeah.
Cool. And you mentioned micro sets. I like that idea. I think I do that myself a bit too, where you think about a micro set within a larger set. So kind of clustering certain feel or theme or expression together.
Yeah.
Yeah, is
I
that what
think,
you meant by a micro set?
yeah, definitely. And, if you only have three songs to, sell yourself, then what three songs are you doing? And it's hard to whittle them down because sometimes you want to do 10 songs and you only
Yeah,
have 25
yeah.
minutes, and sometimes you have 15 minutes and you want to do five songs but you really can only do three. So um, yeah, it just sort of finding what's going to work best for the occasion. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, your green room. I love asking people about their green room. So whether it's like a specific place in your house or a green room at a venue, what is in your green room that you want to share that helps you get ready for a performance or a show?
Definitely lots of makeup because I like to, touch up right before I go on,
Okay.
so that I kind of feel, my most confident and ready to perform. Also, always either water or Red Bull. Those are kind of like my, main things that I have before a show. Lots of water, lots of Red Bull, or not lots of Red Bull, but a Red Bull before I go on stage. It's just so that I have that extra burst of energy and caffeine. Because, sometimes you're waiting all day to perform, and sometimes,
True.
you have to just get up and do it. And you don't have a lot of time to prepare. But I don't know if there's any sort of set things that are fun and interesting other than that, other than that, costumes or,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't think of anything specific other than
Okay.
that.
Well, no,
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that. Um, and you mentioned theater too, and thinking about makeup. So how does theater factor into what you do musically?
I think it factors a lot. I was always sort of theatrical just by nature. Um, but I also went to theater school after high school. So
Okay.
that definitely influenced my whole being as a performer and, how I prepare and um, sort of how I look at music and performing and how theatrical I want to get. But I think I love a good costume change. I love
Nice.
sort of escapism and, paint, creating a safe sort of atmosphere for people to feel like they can be themselves and sort of set, a theatrical tone where it's exciting, but they feel, safe to be themselves.
Mm.
It's important to me.
Mm. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I noticed that in the performance of yours I saw last summer, I could really feel the sense from you of wanting to create that
Mm,
space for people, that space for where people could feel safe to lose themselves in what you're doing, which is really cool. Very
thank you.
powerful.
Thanks. I'm glad that it translated.
Yeah, it definitely
Mhm.
did. It definitely did. And speaking about uh, theater and theatrics, I saw a post of yours on social media last week that you met Nardwar
Yeah.
from from the Human Serviette fame. How was that meeting Nardwar?
Well, it was actually the second time I
Okay,
met him, which
okay,
was kind of wild. I went to this school called Nimbus Recording School
right.
of Media, and he was a guest speaker a couple years ago when I went there. But over the weekend, I went to a Music BC seminar, and he was sort of the closing speaker.
Okay.
So I saw him again, and of course I had to get a photo just because he's so fun and so zany, and he's inspiring just because he, always stays true to himself and
Totally.
doesn't take life too seriously.
Yeah, totally. And I've been part of the music scene in BC for decades, and I remember Nardwar from the 1990s. And I would say that, yes, he has stayed true to himself. So, and
Yeah.
thinking about, creating a space and an identity, like he's definitely done that and maintained that and been very involved in the BC music scene, and of course, much wider than BC. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I actually didn't know he was from Vancouver. I grew up with him watching much music and interviewing
right.
pop stars and bands, and so I knew him through that, and then I found out he was from Vancouver, and he has, he's always been in Vancouver, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I had to ask you about that when I saw the post.
Yeah, yeah, it was really fun
Oh,
seeing
cool.
him again. Mhm.
That's great. Um, a question I often like to ask guests on Musical Mondays is, what advice would you ask or would you give your younger, less experienced version of yourself in the music biz?
Hmm, that's a good question. Um, Keep practicing. Um, when you think you know everything, keep learning,
Mm,
and
good one.
um, it's going to be okay. And you just have to keep staying true to yourself and exploring what inspires you, and um, don't be shy about it. Just be confident in um, what you love and what you love to do, and share that with people. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love
Mhm.
that. Thanks, Reed.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
yeah, being true to yourself, I think for I remember as a young musician, there's so many things that you encounter in the music biz that can kind of pull you in all kinds of different directions, and there's all the compare and contrast and comparing yourself to other artists, but having that what you just said resonate is, I think, really important, to be true to yourself and kind of follow your own path.
Hmm. Yeah, it's only you can be you, so um,
That's for
you
sure.
gotta carve that out and try not to um, be like other. I mean, obviously, you can honor people you look up to and admire. And I mean, I do that a lot,
Me too.
um, but I think finding what makes you distinct is important, and that's, what what people are going to remember at the end of the day is, you know, how you're different than who you look up to or aspire to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Well said. So what's coming up for you?
Coming up for me, hopefully lots of Pride shows this summer in Vancouver, Edmonton, hopefully, Calgary, hopefully. Um, but hopefully some shows around Vancouver. Hopefully another Cusick show. I'd love to do another Cusick show.
Yay.
Um, but I'm currently working on two albums right now.
Two
Um,
albums. Wow.
yeah, they're both actually collaboration
Okay.
albums. One is with a producer named Red Panda Productions, who
Okay.
I've released a few singles with already. But we have a full album together that is getting close to being done. Two songs left to finish. I'm not sure when the rollout is going to happen just yet, but this year for sure.
Okay.
And then I have another project that I'm working on with my boyfriend, Jaden McKenzie, who is also an artist and a producer. And that project will be a little bit more alternative pop and sort of
Okay.
future pop.
Cool.
Um, and we've released a couple singles from that project as well. A song called The Cloud Break and a
Okay.
song called Oxygen. Those are out now,
And
so
what's the
you can go
name?
listen to them.
What name do you two go under? Is it?
We just go by our
Oh,
individual names. Just
okay.
yeah, Reed Zakos and Jaden McKenzie.
Okay. I'm gonna
Yeah.
check that out.
Mhm.
Um, oh, that's great. And so the stuff you're doing with Red Panda Productions, is that dance pop? Can people
It's
expect?
definitely, yeah, definitely dance pop, very kind of 2010s Lady Gaga
Okay.
inspired. Um, we have a few songs out now, Need Your Touch, which I think I did at the show that we did
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Um, Deck of Cards was the first song we released together. And we have a few others, and we also did kind of our own version of Adele's Rolling in the Deep. We put out
Hmm.
a cover of that
Okay.
last year. So there's a few singles you can listen to of Red Panda Productions and I and Jaden McKenzie and I. And then my own solo stuff. I just put out my second album back in November called Brighter, which is 10 songs that I've sort of been releasing as singles over the last couple years, and they finally kind of felt like a whole era to tie together.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And where can people find your music?
Um,
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay.
I have, yeah, all streaming services, but under Reed Zakos. But I have a website as well, readworldmusic.com,
Okay.
where you can find everything, music videos, YouTube videos, yeah,
Great.
visuals.
Live
Mhm.
performances coming up and everything. Everything newsy is there. That's
Yeah.
great. Okay. Great. Well, thanks so much for joining the show tonight, Reed. It's so great to talk to you, and I hope to have another opportunity to see you perform.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
so I'll look out for Vancouver shows. Do you ever come over to Vancouver Island?
I haven't to do shows. I've just been over there to, visit. I have some family on Victoria,
Okay.
and I've been to Vancouver Island before, but I've never done shows over there. So maybe this summer. I don't know.
Yay. Okay. Well, I'll cross my fingers for that. Watch out for that too.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for joining the show and everybody who's tuned in. Go and follow Reed on social media. Check Reed out on the streaming platforms. Reed Zakos. Zakos. I got that right?
You got that
Yay.
right.
Okay, so check out Reed's music and follow and support. And thanks so much for joining. Great to talk with you, and all the best with your upcoming projects.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for thinking of me
You're welcome.
and inviting me on your show and for, bumping back the time a little bit
Hey,
so
no
that
worries.
we could accommodate it. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you at a show soon.
You
And
too.
I'm supporting you and listening to all your music as well. So,
Yay.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
of course.
Thank you. And I'll post this video after the show too.
Great.
Yay. All right. Thanks, Reed. Take good
All
care.
right.
Okay, bye
Bye. Have a good
for
night.
now. Bye. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Bye.
Bye.